it over there and off the taco. Alright, people. Sorry about that. I got a bit of a crazy day. As always. And I've got this around my chair. One of these days, I'm going to design me a chair that's connected to the wall and it has no. I'm going to keep my mouth shut now. It's actually a pretty good idea. I'm going to talk about that one. Might want to get that one patent. But anyway, I finished the Tin Man. Well, not finished the Tin Man yet. We just put the feet on them. I painted its antenna and I figured out how to make the claws. So that's already done. I gotta cut out the little disc to put the claws on. That's basically about it. So, first thing, if you don't know who I am, my name is Kenneth Berg. My company is ILEG Technology Screens. We develop. Sorry about that, people. We develop projection screens, and we do a whole lot of crazy stuff like paint ceilings, turning the screens, floors into the screens, interactive technology, predictive mapping applications, stuff like that. And I do PC builds and gaming and all that stuff. So, the reason why it's called Wooden PC is because we used to make our PCs from cardboard, and now we're converting over to wood. Because the Lord has, we're a Christian company, is Christian based. And the Lord blessed our company to have these new builds, all out of wood. But on top of that, I'm getting ready to put my new screens into also. So, right now, taking out my LED lights on my desk. I had to go in and clean my PCs out. See, these are some of the modifications I did. That's my whole entire Ice Boy PC right there. I take it apart and get ready for that. And this is something I'm already working on. This is involving that robot over there. Right there. This is a computer I just got finished modding out. New paint job. And I still got to do a nice neon design for the plant life in the jungle. So that's a nuclear jungle we're doing. We have a giant bullfrog I got to go pick up. We got these butterflies we're doing. And I decided that in the case, this PC design we're doing, it's a full wraparound. So I can see from the front, the back, the sides, everybody's going to be all kinds of interesting design in it. And I wanted a sleeping robot. So we built one. And that was made out of just scraps and parts we just found laying around. And yeah, I used the screen paint to prime it because that's the only thing we could do with this stuff. We would get mad like, oh, it doesn't, no. It doesn't do anything. It's good for priming. That's it. I already did that in the last demonstration a long time ago. It's good for priming. That's all this stuff is good for. But I find it interesting about that theory right there because the person who did the test against the network grade 773 literally said the same thing we just said. He said before he did the test, he said, well, he is good. He is right about one thing. The network grade 773 is good for priming. That's what he said. And guess what? His screen matches the screen. Yeah, we know that. I heard that I heard that from the video itself. But this is what happens when you don't test your stuff at the end of the day. It turns into primer. That's all it's good for. So that's a refusal. For those people at the end of the day, well, no, we sent it to him. That's the product. We made it off his own tutorial video, sent it to him. We got it right back. So we can't use that stuff for anything. I used it for screens, basically. Why not to go their gray screens versus ours? But other than that, it's fantastic primer. So I'm using the primer robot. Y'all just paid $90 for a screen paint that we just used for a primer for a robot on my PC. That's all you can do with this stuff. Before people go off the deep end and go crazy and everything, we did all the testing. Everybody did testing on it. Doesn't work at all. Smooth this out. People get really, really, really sensitive about that topic, and they just go into these rants and they carry on and act up. I guess they believe it actually works. Well, that's what we got court for. That's what court's for. You know, if you believe your stuff is working 100%, this is how you back it up. You take someone to court for it. That's what you do. But anyway, I'm going to finish this thing up, get it all padded in, and then after that, get ready for the light system. We have to install in a multiple individual screws. And then these PCs are going to be running through my new screens, which I have the gamer technology, which they're going to be running through, and they're running through the black technology. So Saturday I'm going to pick up my wood for my new screens, which I decided to go with, I don't want it too big, I don't want it too small. So I'm going to go with 5 feet by 8 feet, which is roughly 113 inch screen. So that's the size I'm going to go with. It's easier to do. And when I go to Home Depot, they already got them cut to 5s, so that's easy to do. And that's small, so I can stick in the van. And then 8 feet, we're going to saw that in half. And have 4 and 4 and just connect them together because it makes it easy for to transport that wood if we cut them in half. So we go to Home Depot, they cut it right in half for us right there on the spot. And I'll build them here and then assemble them. And the surface I'm using is going to be a weather-resistant, wrinkle-free tablecloth. That'll come out fantastic, which means we don't have to do any priming. Keep the screen from absorbing because it's already weather-resistant. We'll coat that, turn that into our screens. One is going to be a gamer, and the other one's going to be the new black technology, which the new black technology won't be up there yet until we actually start making it, which we don't make it yet, because right now we're still setting up some things for it. I'm hyping the screen up. That's what I'm doing. The black technology is being hyped up. So we already put it out. It's all over Google right now. We just launched it. It's all over Google. We finished that page. It literally says in the description, the greatest projection screen on the planet. So we beefed it up so we can get plenty of challenges on it, because I'm hoping that somebody lays challenge to that technology. This will be fun. But anyway, I got a bunch of surfaces to order, get that machine done, and finish my cases out. Once that's done, we have to paint that by hand. That can't be done with a paper towel. That has to be done with detail, extra fine paintbrushes, because it's a detailed paint job. And then we have to run a bunch of screws into it, which we have the rotary tool system over here for that, and give it a more realistic effect. And then we have to cover it in vines and make it glow in the dark. So all that cool stuff. Usual stuff. I think what I'm going to do is, I like the USB charging cable, so I'm going to run a couple of USB charging cables to a system, make it look like it's actually being charged. I might put a little light system in the front too that bounces back and forth to let it know it's actually reading. So my new cases at the end of the day basically have a whole 360 view from front to back, and you'll be able to see all different types of interesting things going on inside the case. It's like a kind of a Where's Waldo effect. That's why we have the name Wooden PC, because all the stuff is made out of wood. I'm cleaning off this paint with my hands. My buddy's coming down the recycling truck. I like this thing so much. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. He invested in a recycling truck. Makes a lot of money off this thing. People shred documents left and right in that thing. Yeah. I'm gonna throw all this stuff in there, shred it all up, get it out of here, and then in the process of building our wooding setup, and we're good to go. Now, for those who don't know me, if you've seen me in Haventown, I built so many different environments, it was not even funny on how many different environments we constructed in that environment. I made a Japanese tea room in there too. I made an arcade with a 100-inch portrait screen. My goodness, downstairs we did 135, 120, 135, 150, 235.1. I did so many screens, it's not even funny. I constantly change up my environments because I'm always developing something new or something I want to do. Levitating screen. So that in the other house, I did a levitating screen in the other house at 126 with a 4K projector, and then turned around and did a 235.1 at 178 inches. I constantly change up my environments all the time. So now the new set that we're doing, all wood. We got a new Lord bless us with a new blueprint, and the blueprint is amazing. So over here on this side where that bookcase was at, we're going to put in a fish tank bookcase. Of course, since we developed the technology for AdTech and that black invisible technology, it incorporates all that technology. So the environment is designed to be one big showcase. In the desk right now, I'm pulling out the neon lights because the panels we have over there, which we don't need anymore, are going to be actually added to the desk. This is going to be a projection screen. So turning the desk into a projection screen. Isn't that cool? Yep. So I finished the rest of my prompts, get my stuff done. Everything's finished, then we can go in from there and finish the rest. And we got a floor mat coming in to cover the floor because we're going to turn the floor into a giant fish tank. Because we've done this before. Giant koi fish on the floor and all that stuff. Yeah, that's what we do. I think I'm going to finish. We got the new mat system coming in. Those are going to leave because those are horrible. Should have bought the first ones I had. The big boy heavy duties were better. They lock together better. So I'm going to mat out the entire floor. And then I'm going to go in and put the surface down. The surface I can bring up and put it in the corner. It's about 8 feet tall, so it's pretty big. Because this joker at the end of the day likes to scratch stuff up, so he can wreck the mats. I don't care. As long as he doesn't touch the, we can't help it. He gets up, his claws comes out, they dig into it automatically. It's a reflex from him, so we put the mat down there so that way, you know, you can play on it and game off it. He can't damage it, but the mats, I don't really care. He can do what he wants to those. Right now, he's over there watching TV. Don't sit too close to the screen, Taco. Yeah, my cat watches TV. That's why he's going to be, I'm setting him up. I don't like him looking at the TV. I don't like the TV might be harmful for his eyes. So I'm going to get him a QE projector, stick that sucker in Eco mode because it's not needed, and we're going to put a, what's going to call him behind the back of it. He's going to get the new TV visual screen. He's getting a 12 by 12. We're designing a 12 by 12 for him so he can watch his shows off of it. So he's the first person to have one. And then we're going to take it outside and watch movies off of it. So my cat's waiting me advertising my screen for me. Look, my cat can watch his screen. I mean, his screen is going to be more advanced than most people's stuff right now on YouTube. Because he can go outside in the daytime and use that thing, which we are going to go outside and watch cartoon off in the daytime. So I got my cat screen. Yes, this is my cat screen. Alright, robots drying. The screen paint came in nice and actually, just like I said, makes a good prime. That's prime screen stuff. Yep, you can use anything for paint. It doesn't make a difference. They gotta be that stuff. Use anything you want. You just got a lot of that stuff laying around. We don't use it for anything. You know, paint on walls with that stuff, paint a screen with it. What am I gonna do with it? It's gonna wash out on me. I can't do that. Use that stuff. It's 24,000. We can't even use it downstairs. It doesn't work anywhere. That's why you people are so confident in that stuff at the end of the day. Talking about, oh, it works. Well, you know, hey, look. This is what we do. Don't worry your mouth on YouTube. Let's go to court over here. Let's go there. And we can put some stuff at the end of the day that you got some stake in there. Put your car, your house, you know, I mean, what's in your banking account. You start putting stuff like that. People get quiet real quick. They don't want to talk about it anymore. When they're on YouTube, they run their mouths from left to right. That stuff works? You claiming that stuff works? That stuff don't work. That's what you get for priming. It's house paint. That's all it is. And again, for those people who want to sit here and cry about this, but I knew it when I shot the video and I did this. I was like, here come the crybabies. From the beginning, it's his stuff. We literally made it from a tutorial video that belonged to him. I got some people cry on that someone. It was not really his product. Oh my goodness, I mean, really seriously. Stop drinking pool water. You know, pool water was not to be digested. Just come up out of it, you know, and spit whatever's in your mouth out. Because some of you guys act like you don't run on all cylinders at the end of the day. You guys are going to get your stuff lost in court. Because again, we challenge you in court on that. You want to challenge that one, we'll take it to court. You know, yabble on YouTube. Let's go to court, sign this paper, and walk in there. Tell me that stuff reads a contrast that operates in a fully lit environment, picks up perfect color balance. Please tell me this. It doesn't. It's house paint. I got a buddy who runs a chemist. I can take this stuff down, buy his stuff and take it down, and he'll test and tell you exactly what's in it. It's house paint. You literally bought $90 worth of house paint. I was sitting there cracking up. We were painting the robot in. And my buddy was over and said, yo, what you doing? I said, which ones were you using? They did the paint we had to send to the guys. That's the paint we sent to the guys. I can't believe people paid for that mess. I said, I can't believe it either. But y'all did. Y'all paid for it. And that's why y'all sitting in the dark right now trying to figure either the cat or the coffee table. One or the other. You might find both. I paid that money for that. And that stuff wasn't even tested. No, it wasn't even tested. I'm baffled by it. None of this stuff was tested. Stuff was washing out on camera. Customers were washing out left and right. You guys are on a call. And somebody well can explain it. You're mindless sheep. You have to be in a call or something. Who else basically is dumb enough to go down the line and buy something like that? I mean, look, buy yourself a tracksuit, get yourself some purple Kool-Aid, and wait for that flying saucer to pop up. Because you guys are on a call. Yeah, people are willing to go to jail over this mess. Or people are going to jail over it, technically. But anyway, yeah, people are house paint. Explain what you bought. There's nothing special about it. That's the whole purpose of testing. Testing. See that stuff right there? You have to be to show that your paint differs from anything else on the market. That's what you have to do. You see that giant page we got sitting on our website right now called Black versus Black Testing? You see all those tests that were done on the paint? You see how we can show that that stuff differs from other stuff? That's what you have to be able to prove. Other than that, that stuff is just, you just got everyday house paint shipped to your front lawn. You can't ship that stuff back. That doesn't even have a return on it. You know it says on the original, once it lands on your property, you're stuck with it. Why do you think it's made that way? Just in case if you figure it out for yourself, it's house paint, you can't return it. And you don't ship back demonstration, you can't get back numbers on it. It'll match. Oh my goodness, I just can't believe this. We sat there and talked about, so what is it good for? I said, priming. It's fantastic priming. The black and white paint mixture is fantastic for priming. Other than that, anything else? No. Don't work. They're making statements that it works for dedicated theater rooms. No, I built a dedicated theater room. It doesn't work in there. It doesn't work with the lights on, it doesn't work with the lights off. I had Pico, Venue, I had Ultra Short Throw. I said, we have to have 4K. I bought a 4K. I bought a PX747 4K projector. Viewson when it first came out. Why we don't touch them? We don't require them. We don't need them. Our technology doesn't require them. That's why you don't see me with 4K projectors or 1080p projectors. We got to the point we don't even use venues anymore. All the machines are under $200 now. And we can operate outside. So when people want to sit there and challenge our track record and say, well, you know, hey, we're outside at the end of the day. Where the freak are you at? Inside of a dark room trying to fight window light. We're playing in the same area. The window light, you're afraid we playing that. Please, give me a break. This is the conversations I have on Fourth Place, by the way. People show me some little dark environment, and I'm going to have an office at 24,000 in my ceiling. You can get a tan in if you sit here long enough. And that's it. That lamp you got in the corner, that LG light bulb you got in the corner versus my 24,000 in my ceiling, including another 6,000K Halo system and a screen. Please, give me a break. Shoot. That's why you got to understand the calculation of the environment and the lighting in the environment itself. If you realize, if you look at it, the lighting in the environment is much lower than the lighting that comes from the projector. It's always been that way. The reason why it's designed that way because they'll put lower lighting. It looks like it's a lot of lighting, but it's not. The voltage and all those lights they have in there are much lower than the projector. What good would the screen be if they put like 24,000 in their ceiling, they drop a projector back around 16 feet from the screen, you know it's got to travel through that, right? So that lumen count, that's 3,000 lumens on that projector, ain't gonna mean jack. If you got lighting in the ceiling at 24 and you're traveling at 16 feet, you're gonna have nothing left by the time you make contact with the screen. You don't even have enough to generate. You'll barely be able to pull an image on that setup. So what they do is they take a projector of a high caliber lumen count and they basically make sure that the lights in the environment are lower than what's pushing out the projector. So that way there's some chance of survival for it to pick up. That's why venue projectors have an incredible amount of lumens on them because they're designed to be in commercial environments like this. That's why you don't see, if you go to a freaking, any place you see a projector set up that has high volumes of light, you will never see these small little projectors that you see home theater and home. You'll see something called the big boy venues. These are the ones that come in the Roadhouse, come in cases. That's why you see those projectors. They're designed for it. They're designed to take and they know the lumen count's going to drop. So if I'm 16 feet back, we got maybe about, I don't know, roughly 24, and the projector's 50,000 lumens, we know we're going to lose lumens. It's automatically going to happen. It's part of the whole process. You just have to make sure you don't lose too much. So you're going to sacrifice some of those lumens to travel from A to B and hit a screen that probably may require maybe 2,000, maybe the kick. You just have to make sure you get 2,000 or more before it hits that screen. That's it. That's how all that works. So when your projector fires off, the lumen count automatically starts to drop rapidly. Depending on how much light you have in the environment, windows, extra lights, ceiling lights, it starts to drop, 3,000 lumens from 16 feet goes fast. So imagine outside at 300 lumens at 120,000 lux of sunlight. There you go. That's what makes that technology very impressive. So in here, this stuff in here can generate at 50 to 300, and I think the projector we have it runs at 1,800. They're running in eco mode versus 24,000 in the ceiling, and none of these projectors are ultra short throw. Anyone explaining this stuff to you guys at the end of the day? Like any of these other people? I know other different porn sites do it. They do it all the time. I know the influencers do it. They know their stuff at the end of the day. They do know their stuff. They do. They're talking about lumen counts and all that stuff. But does any other people making screen paints explain this to you? No, they don't. I watch their videos. They don't explain that. No. They just tell you the dumb basic stuff. It pulls the brightness and color. Look at the contrast. Yeah, right. So the only thing that paint is good for is primer. That's it. Any one of his customers want to pop up and go, no, you're wrong. Sign a contract or see in court. Hope you got money in your banking account because you're going to need it. See how well you stand behind the product. That's all it doesn't work. You can't use for nothing. But extra primer, yeah, it makes a fantastic primer. It does that mixture, makes a good primer. It does. Because they only had to coat it like one time. It marries very well. And we use hobby paint for ours. There's no way in the world I'm going to go out and spend $17 on a quart. Well, not $20 on a quart of black and $20 on a quart of white. Go down and get some cheap hobby paint. Do the same thing. Little man, please, you'll be alive. Oh, this antenna's almost dry. This is a key to a storage unit. And we got the claws made from, I don't know what the heck this is, but whatever it is, it works. Well, we thought we'd clear that up real quick because I knew, I said, man, the minute I pull that camera on, man, these crybabies are going to come in here crying about this freaking paint at the end of the day. Talking about, oh, it works perfectly fine. It does. It pulls 100% contrast and calibrate. Here's the thing. Stop talking science. See you in court. That's it. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. You stand behind that product. Let's go to court. Come on. You tell me how we're going to create 100% contrast on that stuff. That was the case. If that was the case, you know how many video demonstrations I would see on this show? How impressive that would be. I have never seen a gray screen do that before. If you can figure out how to get a gray screen and read 100% contrast, these demonstrations would have been splattered all over the internet. You would have been put on the map for that one. Even Google AI would have recognized you, which they don't recognize y'all, they recognize us. Not y'all, us. We come up. If I figured out a way how to get something to work, I'm gonna boast about it everywhere. Just like we got a screen to read sunlight. How many demonstrations do we do outside with sunlight? A lot of them, right? And we spent the whole summer doing that, right? So if I figured out how to get a screen, a bless out of the screen to be able to pull sunlight, I'm not gonna keep that quiet. I'm gonna let everybody know I did it, which I did. All right then, and why would you keep something like that quiet? I mean, you figured out the hardest thing for any gray screen to be able to produce 100% contrast on a gray surface in a fluid environment. But the denial stage, and denial was great in this one. No, it is possible. I probably can watch a movie off that, but I can't read the star field. It won't pick up. If I painted it in our technology, it could pick up a star field off of it. It's not going to work on that. As a matter of fact, let's humor it. When we get done painting it dry up, let's see if we can watch a star field off the Spaceman, off the gray screen paint. How do you think well that's going to work out? Well, it didn't work out too well. Oh, man. Let's see if that works. Matter of fact, I'm going to stick that in front of one of my black screens and see how well the Starman picks up. Anyway, moving on. It's just I was like, man, the minute I'm gonna turn this camera on, they're gonna see that painter like, oh man, he used his paint for primer. And it's all different. Ranting and crying about, no, it was perfectly fine. It's a contrast when you sleep. Maybe in a dream, maybe you see contrast. You ain't seeing it in reality, you're not seeing it in reality. The reason why we bring court in this all the time, you know why? I get tired of crybabies. I do. I've been dealing with crybabies for a very long time. I'm tired of y'all. Y'all don't back anything up. You make these fake video demonstrations. You do these fake challenges. Your products are fake and phony. You know what I mean? Y'all can't back this stuff up if your life depended on it. But if we change it and say, hey, look, let's go to court over this, then the whole attitude changes, because you know darn well you can't back that stuff up. You're not going to try to lose your house, your car, or anything in your banking account, or owe money at the end of the day for some stuff you know doesn't work. You're just running your mouth because you just want to make yourself sound like you know what you're talking about, or basically at the end of the day that you basically want to back up something you know darn well you can't back up. Just put something on the line that basically would change your mind extremely fast and shut you down. The whole object is not to continue the conversation with you. The object is to shut you down as fast as possible to keep you quiet. So with that being said, instead of having this conversation on YouTube back and forth, let's go to court. Now, how many of you willing to go to court on this paint? I bet you none of you. Right now. You don't have to say anything. I know what you're thinking already before you even say it. It's no. Because you know darn well doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So then if that's the case, then guess what? You will never take me to court on it. Ever. But I can take you if I wanted to, because again, I can charge you 30. Because I'm telling you it doesn't. And you maybe say it does. Well, how much you willing to risk? You're not willing to risk anything at all. So the fact that you can't say anything already shows that we won already. Let's get into that. Moving on. Literally had this conversation in a forum with a bunch of people making great paint. I'm like, really? Seriously? A sea of people who make great paint. There were like 1,000 Jamies in there. Shut that whole room down. One demonstration. Gone. Yeah. Took that paint, painted a little bit of paint in the middle of it, and showed them the demonstration. How many of you want to go through this? That was the end of it. No more conversation. And if you got something to talk, let's go to court and settle it. No one else came and said anything. No one got quiet. So if that happened to you while you were in there, then the next thing to do is to develop a technology that's up to date, not that old stuff at the end of the day. That shows you have to change your technology to something better. That's pretty much what it does. Something's outdated. I find it interesting that it's not just this stuff, all gray paints, all gray screens are all outdated. This is outdated. I find it interesting too. You guys go and buy these amazing projectors and you're sticking on those gray screens. And then you kept there and say, look at that color. No, you're not picking up jack. Especially the ones you pay all that money for ambient light rejection, gray screens. Are you kidding me? You bought an ambient light rejection gray screen? Oh, it's laughter all day long. You can't even operate that thing in a fully lit environment. Excuse me. You saw a lead screen, right? Ambient light rejection technology. Ceiling light rejection technology. The person turns on the projector, lights are on, screen, projector's not even on. The minute he turns on the projector, it's sitting in the dark. What's the point of having it in the dark if it's ambient light rejection technology? All right then. They got frustrated and they left. We got to do it from time to time, people, because they're coming up with their theories and stuff, and the theories are bogus. No, ain't gonna happen. We launched the. I gotta get that screen a title. You get the title of that new black technology coming out? I don't think you have a title for it yet. I'm gonna get a title for it. I gotta take these out. I gotta put chasers in. I'm gonna put chasers all around the table. I'm gonna Tron the table out. Tron it out. Alright then. So we had to go into that long discussion, because I got other people who see this on Google and other social media sites who are gonna be sharing this at. We had to go into that long discussion because the paint we're using here is a paint that we sent to a YouTuber who ripped off a lot of people claiming this stuff is supposed to be some high-tech paint. And it's nothing more than house paint. And we literally made this stuff using hobby paint. $11 worth of hobby paint. And these customers are paying anywhere from $60 to $90 for this stuff. and they got ripped off. The sad thing about it is, in one of the videos with the Bear silver screen, he matched Bear silver screen with the personal mix, and they went out and got ripped off again. And then the Cinemax, he talked all this nonsense about being a high-end paint and supposed to be this next generation screen paint, and that stuff matched Network Grade 773, which the person who made it ended up matching on a YouTube live stream. You can check it out, the blacklist. I'm gonna post the blacklist below. You can check it out for yourself. But yeah, it's pretty messed up. So yeah, this stuff was sent to his front door, and he sent it back to us. So that's why we call it the refusal, and we used it for primer to paint the robot. It actually worked out pretty nice. That's the only thing it's good for. It doesn't work at all. Period. I mean, this stuff would have been fantastic 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, yeah, because you didn't have any heavier screens, any gunmetals, there were no black screens. The only thing you had was white screens. So this thing was fantastic if you were trying to paint a screen better than a white screen. Yeah, it's fantastic better than a white screen. But now with the technology we have today, that stuff shouldn't be existing anymore. If you look at Goose Screen has a darker screen. They have the lighter products they have, but they do have a darker one. Guess which one sells the most? It's not the lighter one. It's not the midlight one. It's the darker one. The darker one sells for more money. You know why? Because it's a contrast screen paint. That's not a contrast screen paint. But even the darker version that they have, I can't remember the name of it, that one still can't beat ours because we tested it already. It's not black. Paint on screens has several different colors. We got a couple of samples from them. But their main flagship is a dark gray screen. See what I mean? What I'm getting at here? And then what we seen with the UV and the Frankenstein, oh my goodness, I can't make this up. I got that stuff to match Bullseye primer. Bullseye gray primer matched that stuff with no problem. And then found out using the same ingredients we used to make this, it was pretty much all it was a reversal. Everybody knows, if you do screen paint, you know about reversals. Reversals is when if you start off with the paint being white and you're dropping in black into it, it'll take you forever to convert it. You'll lose count on how many scoops you put in. The fastest way to do it is to start the base black and put white scoops into it. It changes much faster. It took 6 to do it. So it took 6 scoops to make the UV, and the Frankenstein was off by 1 shade, which you shouldn't be calling it that because it didn't have the right to without paying royalties. That particular product was off only by 5. So 5 and 6, reversal, that's how you made it. That's what we made it. And that stuff had horrible white levels. Why? It's black and white paint. There's nothing special in it. That's all it is. It had horrible white levels. White levels were very, and yet customers were complaining about it. And that's a few customers who complained about who painted his basement, and his basement was dark gray. He didn't see a difference between his product and that product, and this white levels and yellow levels were coming out too dark. Showed a picture. There's a video of it. So he didn't test this stuff out. He did it on a standalone. And that's what's the problem with a lot of these screen paints on a projection screen. They do standalones. They do a setup by itself with nothing to compare it to. That's what they do. You don't do any gray versus gray demonstrations. I have no idea. If someone sends me this stuff and I pay for this, like $90 for it, how do I know 100% that this stuff is not going to match house paint? How do I know? I don't know. And if I find that it does match this house paint, I save my walls in my home regret. I say I got a piece of, I buy some gray paint. Or my daughter or son walks in front of it with a gray hoodie, because this stuff will match fabric in a hot second. Then what? You know, I had to contact the owner and say, hey, look, how much of your stuff was tested? Because I was able to match my stuff to the walls I already had downstairs that are painted. Gray primer would definitely match it, no problem. Well, my kid walked in front of it and he blended right into the screen. So can I ask you a question? Like, what are the odds of me getting my money back on this? Now, the thing about it is, technically, he does have a leg to stand on there because it's paint at the end of the day. But if he can prove that his specifications were telling lies, he could get him on that technicality right there by itself. But the only thing that would save his neck is the fact that you can't return paint. It's like trying to return mouthwash, you know? Once it's painted to the wall, it's virtually impossible for him to get it back within the same state he shipped it. But he could get him on fraudulent for not testing the product. There's ways that it can happen, of course, there's so many different ways. But that's what he can do. But he has to give him an exchange, which means he has to get an exchange for something else. That's what we have in our policy. We have a ship back policy. We know darn well you can't transfer that thing back. Now, physical screens, yeah, you can send it right back to us. But that you can't, because once it transfers to the walls, we can't get it back. So either you're going to get partial, what do you call it, a return, or you're basically going to have to, bottom line is send them out something else, again, to fix the problem. That's what you're going to have to do. And if your stuff is not tested, you really haven't tested it correctly, you can end up getting shipped back something that will do the exact same thing as the first one did. And that's going to be a problem right there. People don't think stuff didn't do that. No, they don't. Yep. But you have to have something in return policy. Something that will work with the customer. Something there. Since our stuff is tested, we can do a ship back policy. Which means if you feel that the batch number wasn't good enough for you, which the batch number was standard weight and port is no problem, but if the batch number was not enough for you, then ship it back to us. And we'll put it against your claim at the end of the day. I did 2 of those in my phone only had to do 2. I never did anything after that. Tested it right on camera. Beat both of them. Went back and explained to the customer what we found, and the customer's trying to get over it. The customer argued with me on the ship back policy. Literally arguing, the emails and everything showing him arguing with us about shipping it back. Why don't you ship it back to us? What's the problem? We're going to pay for the shipping. What's the problem? See, tamper with it. That's what. It's an automatic lawsuit right there. Wait for the door. So we can prove that you tampered with the product. That's the only way. But you can't accuse the customer of tampering with something if you know that there's no way for them to prove that. So basically, from his policy, states that he doesn't accept returns on the product because he doesn't know if you tampered with it or not. That's accusing everybody. You can't do that. You have to show probable cause that the item was tampered with by requesting the item back. You can't afford to ship back. You know why? Because again, I'm not saying the curse word, you can't pay for the item to ship back to him because what his the cost of his product at $60 it doesn't cover. You got to cover all that. When you're making product, I tell people when you're doing business, you have to put in your cost over to make it, design it, labor, all that to be put in. That's basically about it. But anyway, good thing we had a good topic on this paint right here. But it did good. It did good for a primer. This is his, but it did good for a primer. It did work fantastic for that. And that's the only thing I needed it for. My robot's already painted. It's done up real nice. Pretty soon I'm going to do my detail paint job over top of it, and I'm finished. Getting ready to finish my robot. I got my LED lights coming in. I'm designing my screen. And then once everything's set, we'll begin the process with the black technology of taking out screens. So that's what I'm planning to do with it. You can't call your product the best if you haven't tested against everything. First place I'm heading to is eBay. And the paint's over there, we have to test. Especially that one guy sat there and said about expensive screen paint. That's interesting, this one. But that's where we're going at. So let me see. Get this thing dried up. Get this thing set up over there once that's dried. And get ready for my my butterflies. Here, my butterfly. Oh, and just to show you it doesn't work, I'm gonna do a video with that robot, try to show a starfield off it next to the black technology sitting next to it. We'll have some fun with that. Definitely gonna be doing something with this. I can't even projector map that thing. It won't pick up. The projector mapping won't pick up. People, it won't read. Not even with 10,000 to 1 on a projector. You know what's going to be embarrassing? We got a buddy of mine coming in with a 50,000 to 1 contrast projector. Oh, yeah, it's going to be embarrassing. I keep telling y'all these are going to the gray screens don't read and don't pick up. A 50,000 to 1 contrast. Man, do you have any idea if that gray screen doesn't read at 50,000 to 1? Oh, well. Okay, where did I put the what do you call that? 'Cause I want to paint this in and get this done. All get this out. I got things to do today. Definitely get that painted in. And we got to pick up the glue. I put so much glue it's not even funny. I need to glue to finish and put my robot together over there. Look at that. Now, just so you add real quick, those of you that are interested in new black technology, trust me, it might not be for you. Why? That stuff is $800 for 32 ounces of it. So it's going to be interesting. My buddy's going to be taking over the campaign for that. He's been dying for me to have a technology we can introduce to his friends. And yeah, they're already on board. $800 a quart for this technology. And just to show its weight in gold, I'm going to take everything out with it. $800. Not bad. Fair truth, consider the fact that it's going to take out $7,000 screens, but that's what it's going to. Limited edition, we up the number, so we're only going to do roughly around 50 per month, that's it. And knowing his people at the end of the day, they're going to buy it up. Oh, we got to put the rules and regulations in here. So basic, this has nothing to do, I've got to talk, it's a different topic. But it actually does involve that. Because this build, the machine actually goes into the computer that we're building, and the computer we're building is attached to the screen. So it all syncs. But anyway, yeah, only around $800 a quart. $800 a quart. 32 ounces. We only do 50 of them a month. That's it. Once we're out, that's it. It's only one per person. If you catch in the shopping cart getting two, your order's canceled. So, don't do that. And when it's canceled, you can't order until next month to be reset. Now, you people at the end of the day, it says, well, $800. Well, it cannot certify. A game cannot certify. That's why we're going to be catering to those rooms. Those rooms we're in, ABS forums, we're going to be in there talking to the high-grade screens. These people got those high-end tech hookups, those luxury setups. We're going to be in there having conversations with them. So they can see that the $7,000 screen that they paid for, we could do it for $800. Now, where in the world is my, I'm trying to figure out what my Starman drives over here. We're checking out his electrical pump. I need to figure out what happened to. Where in Sandals my electrical pump? I put him down here. This is why I put everything down here. I knew I had to paint the butterflies soon. Unless you put them someplace else, but they're in the box. It might be in the box. It might be in the painter's box. I'll be in the painter's box. Now I figured for the Ice Boy, for that design, Ice Boy for that design, I am going to do my fans a little different setup for those. Any L brackets to put those fans in, they have to be done differently. Let me see. Yeah, those fans have to be done differently for that setup. Yeah, let's try to figure out what's going on that. She got my lights, put the desk down, get ready to put the new panels on the desk. I'm gonna make sure we have it done. Might be a little storyline on that desk too. Alright, Taco, we're trying to figure out and track where we lost the different company. This is for the machine, so that's for that, and that's done. I'm trying to figure, we just had a whole bunch of those. I put it back in the box. What did we do? Just had a whole bunch of those things. Oh, I'm glad that's gone. Man. Mucus going up. I can't stand going through that crap. Yeah, mucus. But I need to get that out of my system. Alright, we got a wide one there. Oh, they're in here. Got another one here. That's good. I can go into our paints. I did put everything up. Rare that actually happens. me see. So this is what we have here. Don't we have another one of these wide bodies? Oh, we do have another one. I'm going to Dark Jungle. I need little snowmen. I need snowmen. We need snowmen. We need snowmen. What else do we need? I might do the platform. I think I might put a winter wonderland at the bottom of it. Yeah, I'm gonna put a platform. I gotta put more stuff down there. I'm gonna put a platform. It's 12 by 12. It's easy. 12 by 12. I wouldn't do wooden planks for that. The winter wonderland. Then I'm gonna set up one nice and different. Maybe a cottage back there. Something cool, some snowmen, stuff like that, some reindeers, like that. I'm gonna do that. Ooh, run Christmas on to decorate the daylight time. Put a Christmas tree in there too on top of that. Oh, Starman, we built you from scraps. From scraps. Man, this thing turned out pretty cool looking. I can't wait to paint this up. I got the colors I'm choosing. Retro red and silver, which is a popular color for robots back in the 1960s, maybe 60s? We're going to do 60s. Let me see. Oh, wait a minute. They did have that fin on the top. They had that retro fin on the top of them. We could do the antenna of the retro fin, but they had that retro fin. Kind of the front rock. Maybe a little wider than that. Maybe a little shorter than that. Raised piece for it. Nothing goes around it. There's been put in. They had that retro thing. Let's see. 1960 retro robots. Gotta be the circle eyes. You're gonna need the circle eyes. $1960 robot with the retro fin on the head. $1960 robot with the retro fin on the head. The Iron Giant. Buddy boys, soon you'll be alive. Did they make an Iron Giant too? Did they make an Iron Giant too? No, I don't think they should have made a part two. They definitely should have made a part two Iron Giant. Why didn't they make a part two? I can understand this. Stuff that bottom line they should never make a part two, or they make a part two. And if something they don't is really good, they don't make a part two. Like, how did they not make amazing part two? They should make a part two. Yeah, can we get an Iron Giant? That was an amazing movie. I like that. That would be hot. Nope, I don't know. Jeez. Alright, buddy, let's see what we got. We've got this one. Laser dry. box with it. You can do with everything else. You can park this still over there. Maybe on here? How much should be? Nice metallic silver. And put that up for your camera. Drop a couple dozen screws in there. There we go. Come on, take it off. Nicely. I think we're going to have that discussion the minute we use paint. They'll be like, oh, no. No. Just stop it, please. It's over. Okay? And not just him, all gray screens. It's over. That stuff don't work, man. You gotta upgrade, man. You gotta get darker technology. Much darker technology. We're past that, man. We're past that era of all that nonsense. It doesn't work. You might as well go buy white screens. Going down that road. It's done. It served its purpose 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, but that was before I came out. It served its purpose. Even the other companies who make those screen paints have darker versions of them. The era is over. That could be nice. I like this piece better. This one, nice. And again, everything we do here is for documentation. That's what it's for. All for documentation. Hold on. Oh, I can tell you, Fernando is very, very upset. No, buddy, I'm sorry. We don't run any chemicals in here whatsoever. And everything I have in here is basically all biodegradable materials. That's all. I do a lot of painting in here, so no, I'm not running a chemical plant here. This is Fernando's handiwork at the end of the day. Oh, no, it's not. It's not. It's actually, it's Derek Franklin Williams. You know why? The third. That's you guys at the end of the day. You. Don't worry, buddy. You'll be taken care of at the end of the month. Those packages will be going up very shortly. And I'm going to be expediting you down here to Pennsylvania for prosecution. So you're going to be taken care of. You're just about to leave your building pretty soon. So once those packages reach destination, they have business to contact me or the attorneys about the situation that you're about to be in. So I guarantee you, you're on your way out. And don't go far. Keep in mind, you skip. I got a bounty hunter that will track you and bring you here to Pennsylvania for prosecution. So you're not going anywhere. So his next attempt was to try, that's why I say they all know each other. Jamie's in trouble because Jamie's place is not zoned to operate a printing machine. It's not. You don't have licensing. You don't have a what do you call it, licensing, and he doesn't have he doesn't have a license. You have a license to say, I do. I have a license. My company's licensed legit. Even my LLC is in good standing. Yours is not in any way whatsoever. You don't have a legitimate business, so you can't run that place in there. But he tried to say, oh, I'm contacting zoning. Jamie, I know everybody at zoning. They knew who I am. As a matter of fact, the guy was in here. One of the guys was in here. The head director was in here to look at the stuff that I have in here. They know who I am at the end of the day. So all this, but I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to do you one better. They're going to know who you are today. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to give them all your information, where you live at, and redirect all that energy back to you, including you, Mr. Williams, because we know where your apartment number is at now. So all that energy is going to be directed right back to you. But this right here, no. Chemical, let's see, are you guys some of the zone to miss? You can't spell for Jack. Chemical, paint, and office before we contact zoning. Yeah, in some of these offices, they have paint classes. They basically teach tutorial video on painting. It's a community work center. So it allows people to do other things like, they do painting some places. Some women reads books. It's not that type of business office in the day. And this place is zoned for all that. But anyway, I can't work chemicals in the day because I have respiratory issues and I can't operate certain chemicals, or certain chemicals would kill me. So with that being said, I'm going to redirect this back to you. And since you did send this to the post office, and this is a threat at the end of the day, I'm following new criminal charges with you against the, Allentown Police Department and FBI. Remember, gentlemen, I can't go on the plane, so guess what that means at the end of the day? You're going to come here. I'm going to drag you out of your apartments and your homes, and you're going to come here to be prosecuted, but this won't even stand. You guys are very, very desperate. You've tried. We were laughing at the door. So the owner was at the door, we're having a conversation, and we were laughing about it because, again, he's a businessman. He's a businessman. He knows the difference between, at the end of the day, about someone who's basically just upset and angry and bitter. Because he goes through it himself from haters. But yeah, they're that upset and angry. Talking about they're going to contact inspection office and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. I warned you already from the door from messing with Christians at the end of the day. He's also a Christian man, too, also. You people have a habit of messing with Christians. You know the outcome of this is not going to go well for you, right? It's not. So, I can see you're scared. This is how you react at the end of the day, but this is not going to help you. Gentlemen, you'll be here. This letter will be used against you in court. You will be here. You will be prosecuted, and you'll be spending the remaining of your time, which you have left on this earth, in the prison system. That's where you're going. And there's no way around it. You can fight it all you want. And anything you try to do to me won't happen to me. I'm protected by Jesus. You serve the devil at the end of the day. You do the devil's will. So nothing's going to happen to me. You guys have been speaking this nonsense since the first time we met Jamie. You've been speaking this nonsense. Anything happened to me? Nothing, right? Nothing at all. And it was about to happen to you. Jamie's getting deported. Oh, he's definitely getting deported. It's going to happen. Jamie, we go in today and we file our paperwork today against you. So you know what that means? The minute the court date comes up, they have to send ICE to your apartment to come get you. Can't bring you in with a summit. They can't bring you from a summit to come on an airplane to fly here because you don't have documentation. And keep in mind, when this agency comes to the front door, they're going to check everyone in that apartment unit, in your unit, who has paperwork. And if your wife doesn't have that paperwork, she's getting tied. You know what's going to happen, right? So I know you're scared, but you brought this on yourself. No one told you to do this kind of nonsense to begin with. You attacked my company. Keep in mind, I'm an American citizen, and my company is also an American company. And you attacked my company, and you're not from here. So that's right there from the door. It is what it is. But anyway, chemical plant, chemical and paint. Good gracious, you can't even spell correctly. Are you guys? Who starts are you guys? And it's not R. Oh my goodness, you can't get this right. Zoned. Capitals in the middle of sentences. Gee whiz Louise, your handwriting is horrible. Chemical and paints in the office. You know, chemicals would be paints. That'd be the same thing. Unless you're stating that there's high-end chemicals, like something like you're using for a lab, like nitroglycerin or something like that, heavy chemicals. Is that what you're insinuating? Because I'm going to take this up to zoning right now. I'm going to file official complaint against you today. Which your address is. I know where you guys live at. So I'll be up there today to talk to them and explain to them the harassment we're receiving from you, and I'll redirect that energy back to that. And I have all your information, so I'll be filing a police report with them and also talking to zoning about this problem we have with you contacting our office, and including contacting the United States Postal Service. I do know a Postmaster General, by the way. I'm going to run this past him and show him that the harassment we've been getting from you guys, the threats. Now, enjoy the energy coming back at you. You just put a threat out. This is a threat, by the way. Let's see. Inspection office, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I know people in that office too also. But good luck with all that. But I'm going to send this back up to zoning. I'm going to have a nice little conversation with them. And Jamie, I have your address here, and the other one is in you too, right? I'm going to give them your information. Where's your information anyway? I got it right here somewhere. Let me see. because I know the owner, the guy there. The first time they tried that nonsense, he did it with the garage. So I know that's how I met these people. That's how I met them. But I'm having a nice little conversation. But this time around, they're going to have your address. And when I get done from there, I'm going to go over to Allentown Police, which is connected to the same unit. And I know people at City Hall. I have a conversation with them. I'm going to give them all that information on where you live at, your address, it's the whole 9 yards. And Jamie, guess what? I'm going to give them the information that you're not, basically, you don't have paperwork here. So just to let you know that, bottom line is, now more agencies are going to know exactly where you're at. And these people at the end of the day are going to carry through. This is the trouble you got yourself into. They asked us from the door, how do we know, how does Mr. Williams know us? And in the police report, it stated that Mr. Williams knows us to Jamie Fernando Gonzalez. You guys are good friends. Well, enjoy what's about to come at you. Mind you, don't get on YouTube and cry and whine about it. Let me see. Now, let me see. Where did we put? I want his address. I need his address, and I need the other guy's address. Which should be fine. Let's get that done. That's what I'm taking care of today. Let me see. Where is that? Oh, paperwork's under the drawer. I forgot. I changed everything around. And get your address. I'm going to walk you right over there. I got some business to take care of. Now I got this to take care of. I'm going to walk it right on over there. I'm going to explain to the people over in zoning the problem we've been having with you harassing the office. And they're quite familiar with the office here. Now, mind you, when I first came here, I did explain to them I had haters. I had people that didn't like me and people that were trying to attack me every single day. And they do know about you. So now, since you're trying to come at them, I am going to relay this information back to the superiors over there, so now they can come at you. And you've been using the post office to send threats. Because that's a threat. Including all the other weird stuff we got to the post office that came here too, Mr. Williams. So let's not forget about that, gentlemen. You did use the United States Postal Service to send stuff here and carry on and act up. Remember that, right? All right then, but that's an initially a threat now. So let me see your address, and we got Williams's address. We'll bring up some of your handy mail to show them that you've been stalking their office. You guys just give us evidence, man. You just keep doing dumb stuff. I explain to you, stop doing this nonsense at the end of the day. Jamie, this is your control order for immigration right there, which I'll be giving them today. And we'll be filing against you for City Hall today. More charges, but I'm going to make sure that we get that taken care of right away, so that way we can pop you up on radar with immigration. You don't learn anything. Nothing at all, do you? I know everyone down here. Just about know everybody down here. They know who I am. They know the guy who developed all this technology. They've been in the office. They've seen the technology we're having. They know everything about me. And you guys are trying to make it sound like I'm hiding something. I'm on YouTube all the time. I do streams every single day. You're jealous. It comes down, people, at the end of the day, that they're jealous and upset. Why? Because Jamie's screen paint got crushed. That's why. You tried to ask for our ingredients, and we told you no. And you've been mad and angry about it ever since. And you've been jealous of my work. Steal my specification sheets. You tried to make our products look bad. You're jealous because your product didn't take off. Well, you follow Satan. That's why. And then you tried to run a chemical plant. You actually did run a chemical plant. The difference between you and me, Fernando, is that the stuff that I work with, my paints and stuff, anyone can have it anywhere. And the beautiful thing about this is the fact that everything I have here is water-based. I can't have anything with chemical in it, but the stuff you are operating, on the other hand, can kill people. As a matter of fact, you probably end up killing yourself and your family members because they breathe that stuff in. And you have no cases over top of your units. You have poor ventilation. Your apartment's not zoned for it. Oh, let's not keep in mind that you don't even have a lease. You don't have a lease because you were bought here. You came here without paperwork, right? All right then. So that means that it's looked at now that you are a person that's not here from the United States attacking an American citizen. And you've incorporated other people in your plans to do the same thing, right? All right then. I'm going to come over here and I am going to meet to contact these people today with your information and also show that you are undocumented. Let me see. Gotta print out another one. I know we gotta hear this address. This is what I needed. I need to show initial threat. Yes, you gave me. That's actually a threat right there. So I'm going to contact the post office, put in a formal complaint about both of you. And so that's on record that you've been threatening the building here. And I'm also too going to go with FBI and the police and file another one that you've been threatening the building here also too. Including the weird postcards we got. Jim, you know you're involved in that, right? Those weird postcards you were sent over half naked? Yeah, that involves you too. Because you're the one who told them to do it. But you're going to put in statements. We can print one out. I'm going to print one out. I got one right here. And I'll have to have a conversation with your landlord too, Fernando. I will be reaching out to your landlord and have a conversation with him. I'm pretty sure he's going to be upset. I'm pretty sure his intentions was to tell you to stay out of trouble since you've been here, but you don't want to do that since you've been here. So you got problems now. No, we just print another one out. Now, the guy who came over and we talked to, he does remember you. He does. Because we basically formally filed a complaint. So, it'll be now harassment. That's what it's going to be. Let me see. Incident report place number. We have that. And I have incident case report number on Fernando. Okay, good. That's the PC number for that. Gentlemen, all that you do, you can't make trouble for me at all, period. I told you before, I'm protected by my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Here we go. DC number right there. And I will be reaching out to the United States Postal Service about the problem we're having with Mr. Williams and your address showing that you've been attacking the office with mail using the United States Postal Service to commit crimes and sending out threats. Police report number there. You're already in the system already, so you're good. We already got him in the system, and I got Jamie already in the system too. So this is just basically from zoning. They can just crosswalk it right back over there and get the information from there. So they already know me over there. Everybody knows me over there. They know kind of who I am. But not a problem. That's the game you want to play. Not a problem indeed. I'm just going to print them out. Print them out. I'll do it that way. Alright, let's get some fresh paper. I'll print them out. Let me see. California. They are super jealous. California. Let's see. Search. There's the immigration number right there, control number. Okay, let's see. Paper. Oh, the paper already. Cool. That's all we need. Right, I need to put this over here. And Mr. Williams, we have your information here. See, Williams, one thing I know about you at the end of the day, you have to make it known it comes from you. You have to. You can't do things anonymously. You have to. You have to put it out there that he has to know it came from me. That's where you messed up. You got to have it put in the third down. It's still your handwriting at the end of the day. Even though you don't sign your whole name down, it's still your name at the end of the day. So let me see. I have one here with your address on it. Office on it. Showing. Let's see. Exactly with the address on it. This is the one from the garage. Show a history of you stalking me. That's the restaurant's been using. We got to reach out to them. So keep in mind, brother Derek Williams. Yep, we got you, buddy. I'm going to have a nice little conversation, and I'm going to bring your postcard with me to show them your handiwork. Mind you, every one of your buildings is going to have this. Higher ups, all of them are going to have this at the end of the day. You won't be there much longer. I would not get comfortable. Really wouldn't. You got an eviction notice coming. Mr. Fernando, I guarantee you, before the end of this month, I'm going to have ice at your front door. Because all we have to do is file one time, and that's it. You want to attack American companies? Not a problem. You want to harass American companies? Not a problem. There you go. Brother Derek Franklin. It's right there. 501 South Dolphin. This is where you're at right now, right? And this is where you sent to this address, right? Perfect. Let's get another one. I should be using your address on it. So I know you changed your address up because I know for a fact that they warned you and told you not to use the address, didn't they? And you used the address. There's another one right there, right? Derek Franklin Williams. Where's the police report number? Police report? No, your police report number is. You have the police report number. I'm changing all charges to stalking. today, so that way we can get you up here. You guys don't learn anything. I said you don't learn anything at all. So, the mail that went through, it's been going back to the post office. The reason why it's going there, because we got someone sorting through that mail with your information on it. And the same handwriting, which means you're under investigation because we also filed that you were harassing the office. Again, I told you guys are not very smart. Now I'm going to go finish the rest of this. I'm going to go to the police. I'm going to file for stalking charges. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to contact zoning about the harassment we were receiving from you guys. Here. And this is dating back to the garage. So it's contacting us over here and carrying on. And he does remember the garage, because I know the guy. Definitely remembers harassment we're receiving over there. There we go. Full name on this one. Derek Franklin Williams. That's your address, right? Good. That's all I needed right there. That's the one I was looking for. No abbreviation. That's your full name on there. What time we got? Oh, I can go take care of it now. I'll pop over and get this taken care of right now. Okay, so I'm going to go down there, get this taken care of, file more paperwork against these guys, and also to contact zoning, let them know we've receiving threats from these guys. Get this all taken care of. And since they do know these people already, especially Fernando, they were quite aware of him, I explained to, going to contact, make an appointment with the FBI, also too about the fact that this fellow over here in California, who is not documented, has been attacking my company. Harassing and threatening my company. So there you go with that one, buddy. I did put a recording already for you, so you are already good to go. That's basically about it. Emails. Contacting our company too and acting out with his name attached to it. If he's dumb enough to give me this type of ammunition at the end of the day, to get you taken care of, I mean, so be it. I ain't got no problem with it. It means a faster process of me getting rid of you. Not a problem at all. Jamie, I'll be following another with ICE today for harassment on my company. So I'll be filing another report with them today and contacting someone over there, urgent that we need a unit by your building. Whatever it takes, we got to get somebody out there today because you are attacking my company. And my company is I'm American. And I have a right as an American to not be threatened or basically have my company dragged, trying to be destroyed by someone who doesn't have documents to be here. So I'm going to contact some people. I'm going to have you taken care of as soon as possible and let them know at the end of the day, I'm an American citizen. As an American citizen, I got right to be here. You don't. You don't have documentation, and you have been attacking my company. So I want you taken care of right away. I don't care who I got to contact, who I got to get. I want you taken out. I want you in zip ties or some kind of camp, whatever it takes. I want you taken care of. And you can sit there and say racism. No, Jamie, you attacked an American. I'm an American citizen. And my company is also American. You're not from here. You don't have documentation to be here. And you came here committing crimes, especially attacking my business. So I'm going to get this taken care of. See you soon. Until then, I'm going to finish up my robots. When I come back, taking care of this business. I'm going to get this done as soon as possible. Reach out to somebody over in Zone, let them know that we've been harassed by these individuals. Gotta go, and God bless. Let me get that letter too.